What if I told you that the universe doesn't care about your 5-year plan? That all those spreadsheets, all those carefully laid out goals, all that control you're trying to exert over your life is essentially an illusion. We live in a culture obsessed with control. We plan, we strategize, we hustle. We believe that if we just work hard enough and think smart enough, we can bend reality to our will. But then life happens. A pandemic hits, a relationship ends, a career path collapses, and we're left staring at the wreckage of our plans, asking, why? Here's the uncomfortable truth that both ancient sages and modern physicists are pointing to. Chaos is not a bug in the system. It's a feature. And the sooner you understand this, the sooner you can stop fighting the universe and start flowing with it. Today, we're going to explore what the Vedas, the Upanishads, and the latest discoveries in quantum physics reveal about the nature of chaos, chance, and why the universe consistently refuses to obey your plans. If you're ready to expand your understanding of reality, hit that subscribe button. Let's dive in. Let me ask you something. How many hours have you spent worrying about things you couldn't control? How many sleepless nights? How much anxiety? How much stress? Because reality didn't match your expectations. We're living in what some call the age of anxiety. A 2022 study from the American Psychological Association found that nearly 70% of Americans say their stress levels have increased in recent years. And a big part of that stress comes from one thing: the gap between how we think life should be and how life actually is. We believe in cause and effect. We believe that if we do X, Y should happen. Work hard, get promoted, eat right, stay healthy, love deeply, be loved in return. But life doesn't work like a vending machine. You don't always get what you put in. And here's where science is starting to blow our minds. Researchers have discovered that at the quantum level, particles behave in ways that are fundamentally unpredictable. They appear and disappear. They exist in multiple states at once. As physicist Werner Heisenberg showed us with his uncertainty principle, there's a fundamental limit to what we can know and control. And the ancient sages knew this thousands of years ago. They called it Maya, the cosmic illusion that makes us believe we're in control. Or as they put it in the Vedas, the universe is a play of forces, and the ego is just a temporary role in that play. So if we're not in control, then what's going on? Let's explore what the ancient wisdom traditions have to say about this. Let's take a step back and look at the big picture. The ancient Indian texts, the Upanishads, which are over 3,000 years old, describe reality as a cosmic drama, a leela, which means a divine play. Imagine you're watching a movie. You get emotionally invested in the characters, you root for them, you fear for them, but then the projector stops and the lights come on. You realize it was all just light and shadow on a screen. The movie wasn't real in the way you thought it was. That's what the sages say about our lives. We're so caught up in the drama, the job, the relationships, the plans, that we forget we're part of a much larger cosmic play. This is the concept of Maya, the illusion that the physical world is the ultimate reality. It's not that the world is false, it's that our perception of it is incomplete. We see fragments and think we see the whole picture. And then there's the concept of Rita, the cosmic order. Think of it like the laws of physics. But here's the kicker. Rita is not about your personal plans. It's about the grand interconnected web of existence. Your individual life is like a wave on the ocean. The wave rises, it falls, it crashes. It doesn't control the tide. The ancient sage Ramana Maharshi used to say, "There is nothing that can be changed. There is only the understanding that everything is already perfectly unfolding as it should." Now this can sound fatalistic. If I can't control anything, what's the point of even trying? But the wisdom tradition doesn't say you should be passive. It says you should detach from the outcome. Focus on the action, not the result. That's the core teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. You do what you need to do, you give it your best, but you let go of the illusion that you can dictate the results. Because the universe is complex, and your individual will is just one tiny little variable in an equation of infinite variables. So how does this all connect to science? Let's look at what the physicists are finding out. Alright, let's get into the science. Now if you've been following this channel, you know we love quantum physics. Because quantum physics is where the universe gets weird and where science actually starts to sound like poetry. Let's talk about Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. At the subatomic level, You cannot simultaneously know the exact position and the exact momentum of a particle. The very act of measuring one affects the other. Now think about that metaphorically. The more you try to pin down reality, the more it slips away. The more you try to control things, the more unpredictable they become. One laughs, and the other, despite being on the other side of the planet, knows exactly why. It's a deep, interconnected reality that completely breaks our usual understanding of cause and effect. Now, some scientists, like those exploring the fine-tuning argument, point out that the universe's fundamental forces, gravity, electromagnetism, the strong and weak nuclear forces are so exquisitely balanced that the chance of them being random is essentially zero. The author and physicist Hank Kaelman argues that this fine-tuning implies the presence of an all-pervasive intelligence, a field of information that guides the universe. He notes that this idea is actually very similar to the Vedantic concept of Brahman, the underlying unified consciousness that is the source of everything. And then there's chaos theory. You've heard of the butterfly effect, the idea that a butterfly flapping its wings in Brazil can cause a tornado in Texas. This isn't just a metaphor, it's a real principle in mathematics. It shows that in complex systems like the weather, like the economy, like your life, tiny changes can have massive, unpredictable consequences. The universe is a chaotic system. It's not a machine. It's alive, it's dynamic. And a dynamic system cannot be controlled, only danced with. So if the universe is chaotic, and our control is an illusion, what do we do? How do we live with this? This all sounds great in theory, but what does it mean for your Wednesday afternoon? Here's the thing. Understanding that the universe doesn't obey your plans is not an excuse for inaction. It's an invitation to surrender. Surrender in the spiritual sense isn't about giving up. It's about letting go of the attachment to the outcome. Let's look at how this works in practical life. Strategy number 1. Shift from control to influence. You can't control the stock market. You can't control your boss, but you can influence them. Focus on the small things you can do right now. The sages call this karma yoga, the yoga of action. Do your duty, give it your best, but don't cling to the fruits of your labor. Strategy number 2. Embrace uncertainty. We live in a culture that treats uncertainty like a disease to be cured. But what if uncertainty is actually the space where possibility lives? Instead of being paralyzed by the unknown, start seeing it as a playground. What if the career setback is actually clearing the path for something better? Strategy number 3. The 5-minute stillness practice. This is a simple daily practice. For 5 minutes, just sit. Don't check your phone, don't plan, don't worry. Just breathe. Notice the thoughts, but don't engage with them. This trains your mind to stop trying to control everything. It helps you create a space between your thoughts and your reactions, which is where true wisdom lives. Strategy number 4. Reframe the narrative. When something goes wrong, your brain screams, "This is a disaster," but you can consciously reframe it. "This is a detour on a road I don't fully understand." Treat life like a jazz improvisation. You can't control the whole song, but you can play your part beautifully in response to what you hear. Let's bring it all home. The Vedas and the Upanishads teach us that we are not separate from the chaos. We are part of it. We are waves on the same ocean. We are patterns in the same cosmic dance. The universe is not a computer that executes your commands. It's a creative, wild, unpredictable process. And that's not a bug. It's a feature. If you understood everything, if you could predict everything, if everything always went your way, you would be a robot. Life is defined by its unpredictability, by its opportunities for growth and surprise. So the next time your car breaks down, the next time your project gets canceled, the next time life throws a curveball, take a breath, step back, and remind yourself, this is not happening to me, this is happening for me. Chaos is not the enemy, it's the teacher, and the lesson is surrender. If this video sparked something inside you, if you felt that ping of recognition, then you're in the right place. This is a journey of waking up, of letting go, and of finding peace in the mystery. Hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. Give this video a like, it helps others find this content. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Is your life controlled by chaos, or is there a deeper order to it all? Have you seen something you thought was coincidence, or synchronicity? We want to hear from you. In the next video, we're going to take a deep dive into what quantum physics has to say about the soul's journey. What if consciousness is not just a byproduct of the brain, but the fundamental fabric of the universe? It's going to be a big one. Don't miss it. Until then, stay curious, stay open, and remember you are not the captain, you're part of the ocean.